So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Praful and Mr. Kefil. I hope you were having a good summit so far. So as the topic is harnessing AI to optimize supply chain, we are, we had the discussion previously that we're still at the very primary level when it comes to, leveraging AI to its full optimum value. So my first question would be to Mr. Kefil. Sir, can you talk about end-to-end supply chain manufacturing when it comes to pharmaceutical industries, and how important it is to make sure that not just good quality products reach, but they reach on time? Because in our previous sessions, we have understood how important it is when it comes to drugs, as they are life-saving drugs. So can you please elaborate on that?
Thank you. So since morning I've been listening to all techies here. Apologies if I sound as your customer, because normally in the industry when we are on the other side, when you're servicing us, so for us in pharma industry, we don't know who's going to fall sick next. So the unpredictability is too high, because we never know who is going to fall sick, when the product will be required, where and what. Right in the life cycle of the product, right from the research till the end, it's more than a 5 years or 7 years life cycle that takes place. For us, predictive tool plays a very critical role, right from forecasting where the sales will happen, how the climate will hit us, what kind of geopolitical situation will come into play for our sales forecasting, and what kind will be the availability of our logistics services. So right from indenting the raw material as a key SM till to the finished goods, and making it available at the right time to the right customer, right product, right quality. One more R today I would like to add is real-time information for everyone, right, to see. Pharma is regulated in terms of all the activities. We as a pharma guys were the least to respond to change in terms of technology. But recently, government of India and all the international regulators are playing a key change process for us. GDP is in line. So we are all falling in lines to see what is the best traceability, availability, and also to meet the end customer. For us, OTIF is the only end goal we see as a operation guys. So I represent Indigo Remedies. We are more than 200 million company present in 55 countries. We just have an ANDA approval of Lofexidine for opium withdrawal in US. Technology has helped us in many ways. So we have AI used in predictive analysis in terms of seeing what kind of weather change will impact our key brands. So that is a project that's already been processed. We are forecasting on whatever is the past trend, putting into the AI tool to forecast and predict the life cycle for the next 5 years.
For sure, sir. Thank you so much for sharing. And as you rightly said, forecasting is one of the very main aspects when it comes to, supply chain in pharma. So as mpox is very prevalent these days outside India. Let's hope India does not get hit by that strongly. But at the same time, forecasting such pandemics, epidemics by the pharma organizations, preparing themselves way ahead, is one of the key factors that we have also seen in the COVID pandemic that we faced. So coming on to that later on, but my next question is to Mr. Praful. So, sir, can you also talk about how technology is advancing the inventory management aspects, the different kind of technologies that you must be using or that you would want to recommend, and also some case examples that you might have come across?
Yeah, myself Praful Bhandari in Ajanta Pharma, heading planning department, having experience of more than 25 plus year. See, in today's scenario, AI plays very important role in inventory management. You can say from raw material, packing material up to finished goods level, AI plays a very, very important role. So earlier we used to keep the multiple inventory maybe for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months in case of raw material, packing material. Now in today's scenario, we do not want to keep such high inventory. So based on the AI, you can define the color algorithm. Maybe black means stock out. Red means your stock level is up to 30%. Then yellow, your stock level is up to 60%. Then green, stock is above 66%. So based on the color algorithm in raw material, packing material, and even in finished good also, you can put as soon as your inventory goes down to the yellow level, then it automatically trigger to create the PR, then PO, and if required, you can plug in the same to your vendor level also. So at the real time basis, that intimation will go to the your vendor for supply of the material. As soon as color goes down, the changes in the color, then that your vendor can supply the material. So it will give a very effective for your warehouse management. That is for raw material and packing material. Same you can say for the finished goods also. In case of finished goods, you can update your inventory as per your sales requirement to CNF level, warehouse level, your store level. In the same manner, based on your lead time, production lead time, testing lead time, as soon as your color zone inventory goes down, it will trigger to your production to start the product, and that production can then supply the goods to the store, and ultimately your inventory will be always in the yellow zone. So it will give effect in your cost reduction and also your best inventory level and avoid load on your warehouse also.
Thank you so much, sir. So, thank you for sharing that. Definitely, we can understand that it helps in optimization at different levels within the inventory management and supply chain management. So, that is great. My next question is to Mr. Kafil again. So, sir, as we are talking about forecasting and automation, it's not just AI that we're talking of as technology, but we also came across some of the areas in the country wherein it was very difficult to, supply specific drugs and medications, and the government took the help of drones, for example some of the northeastern states. So apart from AI or these emerging technologies, other advanced technologies that you have been coming across that have the potential to change the future of the pharma supply chain, what would be that according to you? Or if any gaps that you feel in the existing systems right now that you would want to voice out so that it gets fulfilled in near future?
Yeah, so the bigger concern now for the pharma guys are understanding where the demand lies. So within the boardroom, the question always remains: will you achieve the target? And at the operation level, it is always whether you will run the excellency and efficiency. So for pharma industry, which are driven by man force, our organization have more than 6,000 employees, and the first thing that we see is they are the one who are at the front end to make the sales achievable, or all the research or development that has happened is delivered to the end consumer. So the biggest automation we see coming up is the automation of field force engagement. There is a gap between the customer and the company, or the organization, or the end user and the manufacturer. As a traditional channel of management, we have all the different hierarchies in the trade management, where we have the company, the central stock points, we have the trade partners, right from institutions, stockists, retails, and the end consumer. The biggest challenge, even as of now, if you have to recall a product, we never know where my particular batch is lying in the channel. So for that remains the biggest challenge in terms of maintaining the see-through throughout the channel. So one, a visibility till the batch level at the end customer. We have more than 10 lakh retailers. We have more than 60,000 stockists. We have more than 10,000 manufacturers. We have more than 3,000 SMMEs who support us. So the challenge remains is where the product lies, how to recall it. The second is whether we can see the visibility of the temperature within the whole supply chain. We have, I do come across situation across the globe when we are shipping the goods on the sea. We don't know whether the temperature is met. Is there is an excursion? If there is an excursion, we come to know through the data analysis for a temp recorder, and that's all post-mortem. On the real go, we never know. So for us, we have done an internal study with an IIT graduate, so who does a patented product for us. Right from the time the product leaves the plant in domestic India business, we know where the truck lies, at what temperature, and when it is going to be delivered. So we are on the go to take a remedial action to see the gap. Pharma, we work mostly, though we say that we are all a cross-functional team, people work in silos. We have seen a lot of presentation throughout the days where say there are a lot of dashboards, to bring you the fact, every department within the pharma company have their own individual dashboards. So if I, as the front end for the organization, interact with my customers, I need to see 10 dashboard to run my efficiency. So the most internal challenge is synchronize the whole team. For an IT team, I would say is the driven force or the driving force is the key user. If you don't onboard them on the board who run your project, if you don't buy your idea, implementation is a big challenge. Internal challenge is there. Visibility, temperature discussion on the live, and demand correctness. So we do need to have demand sensors in place. So we can only have visibility till our first primary level of distribution. So yeah, regulatory is going to be a key game changer because GDP is on the board. And if GDP is on the board, then you will see a lot of disruption in the e-commerce, online, e-sales. They are all technology driven. We can only talk about discounting, and if you talk about quality, then adulteration, pilferages, that is yet to be covered through technology.
Thank you so much, sir. Very vital points you highlighted, and definitely we can say that technology being playing a major role in this aspect in near future to solve these issues that you have highlighted. Coming back to Mr. Praful, sir, when we are talking about inventory management in pharma, so there is a very delicate balance that need to be maintained, that you have enough inventory prepared, so that if by chance any demand arises, we are able to meet that. At the same time, we do not surpass our stocks, so that we are able to optimize our finances better, as well as most of the drugs are very time and duration sensitive. So how do you balance that? How do you create that delicate balance, and what are the gaps do you feel in that aspect, which you feel technology would be able to fulfill in near future?
Yeah, again, see, during the COVID, all pharma have experienced that because of the uncertainty, we have stored a big, huge inventory for the raw material, excipient, packing material, and everything. But now, considering the today's AI scenario, based on the predictive analytics and everything, we can minimize our inventory level. And not only to the raw material, packing material, and finished goods store, this technology can be extended to the quality people also. So quality control can release the material based on the requirement to the production. So as soon as they release the material which is required for production, and that inventory is replenished in the store also for the required material only, so it ultimately gives a very less load to the every area, like your warehouse, to the production, to the QC, QA, everywhere your inventory will be at a very balanced level.
Just to add on inventory and forecasting is, see, the pharma is mostly driven on chronic, subchronic, or the acute business. So organization we judge, for us, 50% of the portfolio is acute. When you say acute, you have suddenly an ailment, you have to treat it immediately. So what we have done is through some of our major brands who are there in the industry for more than 10-15 years, we have run through an AI with a US based company, and they have given us a predictive tool of where this product will sell best, considering the different geographical environment that we'll have. So for Maharashtra, we see rains falling between June, July onwards till October. Tamil Nadu has starting from November, December, that's the peak season. So how you best optimize those input geographical conditions and keep your stocks available there, because right in time, right at place, at the right cost, and also to ensure that we have a shelf life to monitor. We are not into OTC, OTX kind of business where a brand is big. Vicks is there for last 60 years. For us, if a brand called Cyclopam or Carol Plus is launched, and if the brand is tinted bust because of an efficacy or a temperature discussion, the whole effort goes for a toss. So the research, the knowledge base that has driven the brand goes for a erosion immediately. So AI, intelligence, OT or IoTs all play a major critical role for the farmer in next years to come.
Thank you so much, sir. And as rightly pointed out, it not only affects the efficacy of the product, the kind of service, but also the brand overall, for which we have another panel that would be talking about branding and marketing in pharmaceutical industry. Future in this today's summit. So with that, we come down to the very end of this very insightful discussion. Do we have any questions from the audience for our speakers over here? Anybody would want to ask anything to our speakers? Great. With that, we will wrap up this very insightful discussion. As we're near the lunch break as well, we wouldn't want to drag it. Both our panelists would be here for the entire day. Please feel free to reach out for any of your queries.